How's the pressure meter been this week?
I don't have a pressure meter. Obviously, our results are not going the way we want. But as far as the group and where we're at, as far as a group with a 2-4 record, I think we're handling the situation very well.
So what have you done to address that this week?
Like the way I operate, we do not change drastically because I believe in what we're doing. Where I would say we can improve is just our offensive efficiency. Like I think over the last three of the last 4 games, we've done a good job defensively to hold teams to scores that are winnable for us with our offense, but just finding a consistent groove with our offense right now.
Do you think that blokes are taking unrealistic shots or under pressure shots when they should be dishing off? Has that been one of the problems, or are you been happy with the shot selection and they just need to make the baskets?
Yeah, like it's a slippery slope and a great question because you want guys playing with a free mind, but when your offense isn't flowing, the quality of shot becomes something that we've addressed. And there's certainly trends and, the analytics of it all. There's good shots and bad shots. So we for sure discuss and talk about that side of things. So to get yourself out of the rhythm that we are, or lack of rhythm, we need to take good quality shots so our confidence builds from there.
It's got a little bit like blokes are trying to do it, get the team back into the game themselves rather than looking at it as a collective.
Sure.
Is that the sort of thing you've addressed?
Yeah, like it's human nature, it's competitive nature to try and fix something within yourself, but you need your teammates so we can effectively and efficiently take care of that, because we have spurts in the game. Adelaide, the start of the third quarter when we got a 7-point lead, we were sharing the ball, we were playing with a good tempo, and we got great quality shots. So just more of that, will get us, because look, when things are running well, some of the shots we talk about, like Bryce, Jordan, Usher, Keanu, they make those shots. So making sure we get ourselves in a good groove before we start taking those type of shots.
You mentioned that you don't sort of have that pressure meter, so to speak, but are you satisfied where the team is at when you're looking at how you want that team to play?
Absolutely not. And that's the thing is, like, I believe in this group. I've always preached that. We were playing well at the beginning of the season and pre-season. We're just not playing well right now as a group. So we work on, we practice with the mentality that, we will get out of it. Look, we got great players. And I'll bet that those guys that cannot consistently perform at this level, that's what I believe in.
What do you sort of put that down to? You mentioned that, when you played the Blitz and went over for the G League, I think everyone's going, oh,
yeah,
look at this Cats unit, and then obviously you just mentioned them as well, it's probably not going according to plan. Where do you see sort of that difference?
Yeah, like anything, it's never as good as you think it is, it's never as bad as you think it is. Like in the last 3 games, we've had leads in those games at some stage. So back to one of the original questions, like we don't need to drastically change. We just need to be a little bit more efficient until we truly find a great rhythm that we had earlier on in the year. I can give you a bunch of excuses why that rhythm was disrupted, but we're a professional basketball team and we need to be performing better. We're just not performing.
Bryce has mentioned you took a lot of ownership.
Yeah.
The reason why the team's not playing well is because he's not playing well. Do you think that's a fair assessment, or is he taking a bit of that pressure sort of on himself? With professional sport, and when you have a great expectation of yourself, you're always going to reflect inwardly. Bryce certainly does that. I certainly do that. What I do know is the way we apply our craft, I think it's successful. Is it an uncomfortable place when you're not performing at the level? Absolutely, but the belief and all of that is there. We certainly have to be more mindful of helping Bryce get out of this. He just can't take ownership of it himself. Like, that's unfair on himself to do that.
He finished up early yesterday, he finished up early again today. You're trying to freshen him up a little bit?
Bryce has his routine. We talk about routine, and he comes in before practice to get his own individual work in. So there's nothing different to how he's been approaching his week at all.
It's been mentioned by a few people, former players, that there's so much talent on this roster that
Yeah.
sometimes you can have too much talent, too many guys who want the ball in their hands, too many guys who want to shoot at the same time. Is that the challenge, working out their mix of the amount of talent you have, who's doing?
Yeah, look, for sure. And one way to fix that is play with a little bit better pace, so there's more possessions and the offense can find a rhythm more naturally. Also Ty Webster, if he can limit his fouling, his effectiveness on the court you look at the analytics, the numbers, when he's on the floor for us, he allows us to play with a great pace on offense, and he helps us rebounding. He's physically dominant at the defensive end. So he's a huge piece. We just got to minimize his fouling so he can play a little bit more.
Do you feel that he's been a little bit just throwing the arms around a bit too much when it's likely he's going to foul rather than involve?
Yeah, it's just being able to resist temptation. Now on the flip side, very good nose for the ball and can be very disruptive with steals. So it's like the shot selection. It's the balance of everything. And right now, the balance is certainly not in our favor. But you create that, and playing the right way and respecting the way you go about it, that's when your fortunes turn.
Have you got a full team to choose from? A couple of little niggles out there in the end. I think Ben and was it Kyle sort of went across and had a bit of a break, but are you sort of satisfied where the health of the team's at?
Yeah, look, we're doing very well in that category. Ty's come back now for 3 games. No ill follow through. Doolittle's been well, and then Zunic, from his injury, he's progressed very nicely. So yeah, we got a full complement of players this week.
And Bullets will be a similar position when you look at the sort of win-loss ratio,
Yep.
expectations of them this weekend?
Yeah, look, right now it's more about how we play. Everyone tells us how talented and how good we are, so I gotta trust what I feel with this group, and it's about ourselves, getting ourselves right and feeling good about ourselves for 40 minutes.
This is a unique town, the expectations of your fans, and there's been, I imagine you've heard a lot of the outside noise from them at the moment. How do you approach that sort of a thing when there's a murmuring around within the fan base of unhappiness and unease?
Well, if they're unhappy, just imagine how I feel when we're 2-4 and we're not playing well. As I've always said from day one, if I'm taking on board what other people are saying, I'm going to set myself up for failure. Are we in an industry where you can't avoid it? I don't try to find what people say about John Rillie, but someone thinks they're helping you out and they send you a screenshot or something. So you can't avoid the noise. I'm not going to embrace the noise. I'm going to stay with who I am, and we'll get out of this.
Thank you.
No worries.